Hi, I'm not much of a mechanic, but I've taught myself a few things. I've changed oil filter, air filter, changed an alternator once, and I've done some other work on cars, but I don't know a ton. So when it gets beyond what I understand, or it's something that I can't really do because I don't have enough hand strength or arm strength, or I can't reach it, then I go to the pros. But this is something that I can do. What my plan today is I'm going to install this dual USB port. It's got an LED display showing the voltage. You can't see it right now, but that middle part there is actually a display. And so I'm going to be installing this right here in this spot so that I will have another source for plugging in to be able to do things. The first thing I want to do here is I want to take off this side panel. Now what you're going to need to do is you'll need to get some kind of a pry tool. I suggest something that is a plastic pry tool so that you won't damage the plastic of the car. Once you get that open, once you pry it, it basically comes out very easily, and this is because it is only designed like this. So we'll just set that aside, and then it's already been removed, but there is, you'll see a bolt right there, and that actually connects the plastic to that bracket there, and you cannot remove this panel until you remove that screw. So I'm going to take this and put it back in there so I don't lose it, because then you have to go and buy another one, and they'll either be nice and give you one or they'll overcharge you. Probably the latter. Then you just reach underneath. Now I don't need to have full access in here, so I'm not going to take it all the way off, but if you need to, you can always remove this side as well. The less you have to do now, the less you have to do later, and the less chance there is of a headache. You know, I was talking to an acquaintance that I've made, and you'll be seeing videos that she's done because she's helping me and I'm helping her. She is a mechanic. She was trained by her dad, and she's pretty good. And so I want to give Jax Mead a shout out, and keep your eyes open for videos coming from her, and it'll tell you how to get to her YouTube channel. Alright, so once we get in here, we have to find the box for the fuses, which not coincidentally is this stuff right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to find a cable that we can splice so that the port actually has power going to it. Alright, so the first thing we want to do here is we want to disconnect this cable because it's restricting our access. Now on the other side of this there is a release button. You can kind of see it. It's this little tab that's sticking out right here where my finger is, and that's now disconnected. So that's the first step. Now the second thing is we have to connect the two wires. Now I haven't disconnected my battery. If you want to be safe, it's a good idea to disconnect your battery, but I have an alternative solution because of the way they've designed this with the fuse right in here. So I'm going to unscrew this, and I'm going to remove the fuse and just put it right there down on the floor, and I'm not going to even bother to reconnect these until everything is finished, because that makes it easier on me. I'm going to have to connect this to the frame, the black wire. This is the ground, and I have to connect this to this beige wire right over here. In order to connect it to the beige wire, and you can choose any of the wires. The reason I'm choosing the beige wire, I could choose the blue wire or one of these other thicker ones. The thicker they are, the more power they can carry, more current. There's less resistance. So I want to make sure that the USB ports get enough power. That's critical. Before, let's see. Alright, so I'm going to go and strip this, and we will connect this. I don't have one of those, well, I do have them, I just don't have one that'll work for this, for connecting this in a very nice, neat way. So I will use electrician's tape. There are different colors. If you don't want black, there's also blue, and there are probably other colors. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. But I'm going to strip a little bit of insulation from this and some insulation from this. I've got a wire stripper here that I can use on this, but there are so many wires in the way, there's no way I can use the wire stripper on the beige wire. So we got to find the right, got to find out what the, oh, they didn't mark this. Oh, there we go. There it is. You want to look for the AWG, and this one says AWG, 18 AWG, right there. So the larger the number, the smaller the wire. So let's go ahead and remove some extra material from this one. We want to find 18, which is the second hole there, and put it on the side where the number is, so you don't have to try and figure out which one you're working with. And if you've got a good one, mine isn't a good one, as you can tell. It'll now have already disconnected it. You may have to do it a couple of times to break all of the insulation, and then you just pull it off, except this one is being a little bit stubborn because the end of the wire has been soldered together, which is great. It makes it a lot neater and easier to deal with. So now I have to prepare that wire, and so I have connected the wire. As you can see, I spliced it in there. Now I'm going to cover it with this black electrician's tape once I find the end of it. There it is. I received this as part of a scam. Yep, I ordered a computer part from this guy on eBay, and he sent me a box with electrician's tape instead of the computer part that I ordered. And then he denied he did it and wouldn't give me my money back. Of course, I got my money back. Don't worry, I know how to deal with scammers. Alright, so if you can wrap it around, that's fantastic. If you can't wrap it around, the important thing is there is no exposed wiring. It's not going to look pretty right now, but you want to make sure that the wires are not exposed, that it doesn't have to look beautiful, it just has to have that protection there. Okay, so now we have this ready to connect to this. All we have to do is connect this to the frame. Okay, before I do the rest of the wiring, I want to get the port ready, and I'm going to take this out now. That's all you got to do, is you just squeeze these enough and it'll slide right out very easily. And then you take the unit and you thread the wires through, and make sure you install it right side up. And you just push it in there, and now it looks like it's a professionally done job, right? Looks great, right? And now I can do the wiring. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to find a bolt that is connected to metal. I was going to try to connect it to this piece of rusty metal over here, which is connected to the frame, but I couldn't find a good spot to anchor it to. So instead, I loosened up this bolt, I wrapped it clockwise, which is that way, around the bolt, and then I tightened up the bolt. So it's held in place there. That is the ground, and of course we've got the red one over here, so it's all ready to go. All we need to do now is to test it. So in order to test it, I reconnected this, so the fuse is inside, and we've got it fully connected. So what we want to see now is it working? So I'm going to turn on the key. If it works, we'll see a display of the voltage here, and it should be like 12 something. And there we go. We see 12.1, 12.2. And that's what we should be seeing. So that's fantastic. And the only thing left, oh, you might be asking why 12.1, 12.2, because that's what it should be in a car. Don't ask me that question. I don't know everything. And this is something my sister doesn't even know anything about. So now the last step is take something easy and connect it to the device to make sure it works. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this off. There we go. I'm going to plug this in. If it's working correctly, it's going to start charging. There we go. It's charging. All done. Now all we have to do now is reassemble this part over here. So this is the Levigo USB dual port with LED display for voltage. And now what you want to do is you want to look at the inside here, and you see this thing right here. This is one of the things that holds this panel in place. So you want to make sure that all three are going to easily line up, as well as making sure that this part over here is not being misaligned somehow. You don't want to, for example, get this trapped inside, because this is for adjusting the steering wheel column. So it's, so this to make this higher or lower. So we're gonna, you see, this one goes in this hole here, and this one goes in the hole here, and then there's a third one here that gets connected right there. So we're gonna just push these back into place. It's really easy. 95% of what you do when you're fixing things after you've done research is courage. The courage to make an attempt. Now, before we put this in place here, we need that bolt. And this is where the screwdriver comes into play, but I need a different. Screw this in, put it through the hole in the metal. And if you need to, you can always just take a step back and move this away if you can't see if it's lined up. But otherwise, once you got it lined up, it's got a lot of threading on it, so it's going to take a minute to get it threaded in there. And then you want to make sure it's tight. And if you need to, you can use an offset like this, which will work a lot better. So now I can get in here. You turn this. Okay, so that's nice and tight. Don't have to worry about that anymore. All we gotta do is plug this in. Make sure you get this under the rubber, because the rubber keeps the rain from getting inside. And if you have to keep on adjusting it over and over again, that's fine. The important thing is the rubber is in front, not in your pocket. There. All done. So now I have an extra USB port. I'm proud of myself. This is the first time I've done this. I've done electrical work before, but I've never done this particular kind of electrical work. And I wish I could remember the name of the guy who helped me on YouTube. I'll have to add a little bit of video at the end to do that. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.
Need to ask for your help. I'm sorry. On December 11th, 2024, Amazon terminated me and used false accusations against me. And on December 17th, I had my left shoulder operated on. I'm getting a lot better. I can do some things with my hand and my arm, but it's still pretty limited. If you could please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications for my channels, that would really help. If you want to help me financially and you can afford to, you can go to my Glenn's Fast Reviews and you can do a super thanks as a donation there. If you want to donate on a monthly basis, you can become a member there. And or you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII. So thank you for that. Also, I'd like to say thank you to bleepingcomputer.com for allowing me to post messages on their forum about my videos. Thank you so much. And don't forget to visit them. They offer a lot of wonderful resources for people who are using computers. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.